Most people think washing an engine is harmless, but one wrong move can destroy it. I've seen cars go from running perfectly to dead on a tow truck, all because of simple cleaning mistakes. Spray water in the wrong spot and you can fry an alternator, short out sensors, or even kill a hybrid inverter worth thousands. That's why I'm breaking down the 15 biggest engine cleaning mistakes only idiots make and how you can avoid them. Let's get started with number 15. Mistake 15, pressure washing electrical connectors. Blasting electrical connectors with a pressure washer is one of the fastest ways to ruin your car's reliability. Many people assume those plugs are sealed and waterproof, but most are only splash resistant. Even weatherproof connectors can't handle 1,500 psi of water forcing its way inside. Once moisture gets in, it doesn't simply dry, it stays trapped, corroding the tiny pins that carry signals between your ECU, injectors, coils, and sensors. I've seen cars come in with random misfires and dead sensors, all traced back to one corroded connector. Sometimes the only fix is replacing the entire harness, which can cost thousands. Manufacturers like Ford and GM even warn against pressure washing engine connectors for this very reason. The safe approach is simple: avoid high pressure anywhere near connectors. If you need to clean them, use a light mist from a distance or gently wipe with a damp cloth. Gentle cleaning saves months of headaches. Mistake 14, soaking ignition coils or spark plug tubes. If your car has ever started misfiring right after a wash, chances are water got into your ignition coils or spark plug tubes. Coils look durable, but they're delicate inside. When moisture seeps down into plug wells, it creates a path for electricity to jump where it shouldn't. Instead of sparking at the plug tip, it arcs to ground, leaving you with rough idle, loss of power, or even a no start. Modern coil-on plug systems are even more vulnerable. One wet coil can make the whole engine stumble. I've pulled coils that looked fine on top but were soaked and corroded underneath, often forcing a full set replacement. Some DIYers make it worse by spraying or pouring water into plug tubes, trapping moisture that never fully evaporates. The safe solution: keep coils and tubes dry. Use a microfiber towel or compressed air for cleaning, never water or degreaser. Dry coils mean a reliable engine. Mistake 13, ignoring hybrid inverters. If you drive a hybrid, this one mistake could literally cost more than the car itself. The inverter is the heart of the hybrid system. It converts power between the high voltage battery and the electric motor. While it looks sealed and tough on the outside, it is not designed to handle water sprayed around it. I've seen hybrid owners treat their engine bays just like a regular car, blasting away dirt without realizing they're risking a catastrophic failure. Moisture intrusion in an inverter isn't like a simple corroded connector. It can disable the entire hybrid system, trigger multiple warning lights, and send your vehicle into limp mode or worse, no start mode. I've had customers come back weeks after an innocent wash, wondering why their dash looks like a Christmas tree, only to find that water had seeped inside the inverter housing. And here's the scary part. Replacement inverters on hybrids like a Toyota Prius or Honda Accord hybrid can run into the thousands, sometimes more than the resale value of the car itself. Even manufacturers like Toyota and Honda issue strict warnings in their manuals. Do not spray water near the inverter housing. The safe approach here is absolute caution. If you need to clean near it, cover it completely with plastic or foil before washing. Better yet, don't spray at all. Just use a lightly damp microfiber cloth to wipe dust and dirt from the surface. Hybrids are fantastic for fuel economy, but their high voltage systems demand respect. Ignore this and you'll be looking at a repair bill that makes a replacement engine look cheap. Mistake 12, spraying water on upward-facing connectors. When you look closely under the hood, you'll notice that some connectors sit pointing straight up. These are essentially tiny cups just waiting to collect water. Aim a hose or pressure washer at them and you've basically filled them like a shot glass. Once water gets in, it doesn't simply sit harmlessly. It seeps down into the pins and cavities where electricity flows. The corrosion that follows may not show up immediately, but over time, those connectors start losing conductivity. You'll get random warning lights, sensors dropping offline, or critical systems failing out of nowhere. I've cracked open connectors that looked perfectly fine on the outside, but were rusted, green, and crusted with corrosion on the inside. Once damage like that sets in, you're chasing electrical gremlins that no code scanner can easily solve. Often the only permanent fix is to replace the connector, or worse, the entire wiring harness. Something that can run into hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on the car. The frustrating part is that this mistake is so easily avoided. Before rinsing, take 60 seconds to cover any upward-facing connectors with a plastic bag or a piece of aluminum foil. If you absolutely must clean in that area, avoid spraying directly down. Use a towel or a very light mist instead. It's such a simple precaution, but it prevents months of electrical issues that otherwise seem to come out of nowhere. Treat upward-facing connectors like open wounds. Keep water out at all costs. Mistake 11, using brake cleaner on plastic parts. Brake cleaner is one of those chemicals that gets misused more than almost any other in the garage. It's strong, fast, and excellent at cutting through grease, which is why some DIYers think it's perfect for cleaning the engine bay. But here, the problem. Brake cleaner is designed for bare metal surfaces like rotors and calipers, not for plastics, painted parts, or rubber hoses. When it touches plastics, it doesn't just clean, it eats. Brake cleaner strips out the plasticizers that keep materials flexible, leaving them brittle and prone to cracking over time. I've seen plastic covers turn chalky and fragile, hoses swell up like balloons, and even electrical wire insulation crumble just from repeated use of brake cleaner in the wrong places. Some customers have even asked me why their trim suddenly looked dull and faded, only for me to find out they'd been blasting it with brake cleaner. The truth is, once it's damaged, there's no easy way back. That's why professionals stick with dedicated engine bay cleaners or gentle all-purpose cleaners that are plastic safe. Brands like Griot's Garage Engine Bay Cleaner or Chemical Guy's All Clean Plus dissolve grime without destroying the surface. And for light cleaning, sometimes something as simple as WD-40 on a rag works better than any harsh chemical. The key takeaway? Reserve brake cleaner for brake parts and maybe the occasional greasy metal bolt, but keep it far away from plastics, rubber, and wiring under the hood. Mistake 10. Letting degreasers sit on plasti. Degreasers are fantastic at breaking down stubborn grime, but they are not meant to bake on surfaces like marinade on a steak. Too often I see people spray a heavy coat, walk away, and let it soak while they grab lunch. What they don't realize is that the very same chemicals that cut through grease will also attack plastics if left sitting too long. On intake covers, valve covers, or decorative trim, the damage shows up as faded patches, chalky textures, or streaks that never come out. Once the surface has been etched by a degreaser, no amount of polishing will restore the original finish. Heat makes the problem even worse. In a hot engine bay, that residue can bake in minutes, permanently staining the plastic. I once had a customer bring in a car thinking their cover was just dirty, when in reality the top layer of plastic had been chemically damaged from dried degreaser. There's no undoing that, it's ruined for good. The correct way to use degreaser is quick and controlled. Spray lightly, agitate with a soft brush or microfiber towel, and then rinse or wipe it off before it dries. Think of it like washing your hands with soap. You don't just leave it on for an hour, you lather and rinse. Engine plastics should be treated the same way. Quick in, quick out. That's the formula that keeps plastics looking fresh instead of faded and ruined. Mistake 9. Spraying alternators. One of the fastest ways to cause expensive headaches is to blast your alternator with water. At first glance, the alternator looks rugged: metal casing, vents, solid mounting, but those vents are the problem. They're designed to pull in air to keep the alternator cool, which means if you spray directly at it, you're forcing water right inside. Once moisture gets in, it soaks the windings, corrodes bearings, and creates a perfect path for electrical shorts. The damage might not happen instantly. You may think everything's fine until a week later when your battery light comes on or your car won't start because the alternator quietly failed. I've seen alternators seize up after just one careless wash, leaving owners stranded. And if you've priced a new alternator lately, you know this is not a cheap mistake, especially on modern cars where replacement can run into hundreds of dollars plus labor. Some mechanics will even void warranties if they find water intrusion inside. The safe move? Avoid spraying the alternator altogether. If it's dusty, use compressed air. If it's greasy, a damp rag with a little cleaner is far safer than flooding it. Remember, alternators are the heart of your charging system. Keep them dry and they'll reward you with years of reliable service. Mistake 8. Forgetting to dry belts. After washing an engine bay, many people forget about the drive belts. Serpentine belts, timing belts on older designs, or accessory belts don't like water lingering on them. When belts stay wet, they lose grip, slip on pulleys, and make that awful high-pitched squeal when you start the car. More than just annoying, slipping belts can reduce alternator charging, weaken power steering, and even overheat your engine if the water pump isn't spinning correctly. Over time, trapped moisture can cause belts to crack or glaze, shortening their lifespan. I've had customers complain of belt noise after every wash, not realizing they were the cause by leaving water pooled on the pulleys. The fix is simple. After cleaning, always take a few minutes to dry the belts. A microfiber towel works, but a quick burst of compressed air or even letting the engine idle with the hood open helps evaporate lingering water. Professionals often missed a belt conditioner afterward, which restores grip and flexibility. Belts are inexpensive compared to major repairs, but neglecting them can lead to breakdowns at the worst possible time. Don't let something as simple as leftover water destroy your day or your engine cooling system. Mistake 7. Not disconnecting the battery. This is one of the most overlooked safety steps in engine cleaning. Modern cars are rolling computers, filled with sensitive electronics that don't mix well with water. Spraying around live circuits increases the risk of shorting something out, blowing a fuse, or in the worst case, frying an ECU worth thousands. I've seen DIYers leave the battery connected, wash the engine, and then wonder why the car won't start afterward. Sometimes it's as minor as a blown fuse. Other times it's a dead module that needs replacing. Even if you avoid immediate damage, leaving the battery connected makes your job more dangerous. One slip with a metal tool or wet connector can cause sparks or shocks. Disconnecting the negative terminal takes less than 2 minutes, and it's cheap insurance against major problems. Some people go a step further and disconnect both terminals, covering the posts with plastic to be extra safe. When you're done and everything is dry, reconnect and reset your clock or radio presets if needed. It's a tiny inconvenience compared to the cost of replacing a fried fried computer. Think of it like turning off the main breaker before working on house wiring. It's just common sense. Mistake 6. Spraying sensors directly. Modern cars have dozens of sensors under the hood. MAF, MAP, TPS, camshaft, crankshaft, O2 pre-wiring, and more. These little devices are the eyes and ears of your ECU, feeding constant data that controls fuel mixture, timing, and emissions. The problem? Many people don't realize how fragile they are and spray them directly with water or degreaser. Even a few drops of water forced into a sensor housing can create false readings. The car may run fine at first, but within days you'll notice rough idle, hesitation, poor fuel economy, or a check engine light. I've seen MAF sensors get destroyed just because someone thought it was safe to blast the intake tube clean. Replacement costs can sting too. Some sensors are $50, while others, like camshaft position sensors, can run $300 or more. And if you're unlucky enough to drown a sensor that requires recalibration, you're looking at a dealership-only fix. The safer route is always indirect cleaning. Cover sensitive sensors with plastic before spraying, or clean around them by hand with a damp cloth. If they truly need cleaning, use dedicated sensor-safe products like MAF Cleaner, which evaporates quickly and leaves no residue. Sensors are the nervous system of your engine. Protect them like you would your own eyesight. Mistake 5. Using household cleaners. Here's one I see all the time. People grabbing whatever cleaner is under the kitchen sink, Windex, oven cleaner, dish soap, and using it in the engine bay. Big mistake. Household cleaners aren't designed for automotive plastics, rubber, or metals, and the chemicals inside can do more harm than good. Ammonia and glass cleaners can discolor. Plastic oven cleaner is so caustic it can strip paint, and dish soaps are designed to break down grease, but also strip protective oils from rubber and vinyl. The result? Faded, brittle, or cracked parts that deteriorate far faster than they should. I've seen people clean their engines with dish soap only to wonder why all their hoses turned hard within a year. The reality is, car-specific cleaners exist for a reason. They're pH balanced, safe for automotive surfaces, and designed to rinse away without leaving damaging residue. Even a budget all-purpose cleaner from an auto parts store is infinitely better than raiding your kitchen cabinet. Think of it like medicine. You wouldn't use cough syrup to treat a broken arm, so why use oven cleaner on an engine? Stick to the right products and your engine bay will look fresh without sacrificing longevity. Mistake 2. Skipping protective steps. Many DIYers jump right into cleaning without taking 5 minutes to prep, and that's where expensive mistakes start. Failing to cover the alternator, fuse box, battery, or open air filter leaves those components exposed to damage. Even something as simple as leaving the hood insulation unprotected can cause it to soak up water, grow mold, or sag over time. Prepping doesn't take much. Plastic grocery bags, aluminum foil, or even cling wrap can shield sensitive parts. Professionals do this every single time because they know how much trouble one careless spray can cause. Another protective step is choosing the right time and place. Don't wash when the engine is hot. Wait until it's cool to avoid warping parts or baking chemicals in place. And always make sure you have plenty of ventilation so things dry quickly. Skipping these basics is like painting a room without tapping the edges. You'll spend twice as long fixing mistakes later. Mistake 1. Not drying afterward. The number one mistake I see is people washing their engine, shutting the hood, and calling it done. Moisture left behind is the silent killer. It creeps into connectors, sits in belt grooves, and pools in hidden cavities. You may drive away thinking the job's complete, but weeks later your car starts misfiring or throwing random codes. That's because corrosion has quietly set in. The fix is simple: always dry after cleaning. Use microfiber towels to blot large areas, then compressed air or even a leaf blower to chase moisture out of cracks. Letting the engine idle with the hood open for 10-15 minutes helps heat evaporate remaining dampness. Some dealers go one step further and apply a light coat of plastic-safe dressing to restore shine and add a layer of protection. Drying isn't the fun part, but it's the step that ensures your hard work doesn't backfire. Cleaning your engine the right way keeps it sharp and running smooth, but cleaning it the wrong way can wreck parts that cost thousands. Avoid these mistakes, use the safe methods I showed you, and your car will thank you every time you turn the key. If this video saved you money, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more tips that keep your car running for years. And don't miss my next video, it could save your engine's life.